Actually, after Andaz and Sita or Gita, we gave it a little break to absorb a what would these films, their impact, their success mean? What has it conveyed to me as a maker? And then I felt that it was necessary to keep changing because as an individual, I need to be challenged. And after doing a mature love story and a dramatic film with lots of comedy and fun, like Sita or Gita, it was time to look for a new avenue. And the new avenue struck me as, why not an action adventure? We all agreed, the writers, my father and me, yes, let's go for something big. Let's go for the big adventure. And it's exactly what happened is that we first decided on the genre and then decided what the subject would be. Salim Javed, of course, had brought the subject to us after decision was made on the genre, because we needed to have a story to tell in this on this grand scale. Story needed to be very strong. So that's how it came about. They narrated this 4-line idea, and my father, Salim Javed, me, we sat together and took a call. This, he said, my father also said, yes, this is the film, this is the story that would fit best into this kind of. So it was a joint decision. We all were happy with that, and then we started to work on it. So that, of course, we all know that one line was rejected by Manmohan Desai and probably Prakash Mehra. So these two gentlemen had their own way of making films, their own kind of films they made. We decided this was good for us. And so it all began, the story of Shole's storytelling. First of all, the star cast was not planned to be such a big star cast. Yes, we needed the main characters, which was Jay and Viru, and we needed the Thakur, who was originally an officer in the army, but we converted it to a police officer. So that itself was supposed to be the main cast. But obviously, when you have Jay and Viru, and you need two women, two lovely people to be opposite them as romantic interests, as well as a part of the story. Because in Sholay, almost every character contributes to the story. However big or small, the contribution is there. In essence, it's the Thakur story and Gabbar's, the revenge. But it's also the story of the widow, because it's related to Gabbar again, that he kills the family. It's Jayaji's story, it is Amitabh's story, it is Dharamji's story. They come on an assignment to get hold of Gabbar and hand him over to the Thakur. But in the process, they get so involved, and in the process, Jai dies, and so Dharamji takes it upon himself to. Viru becomes the revenge taker until the Thakur reminds him that in the very first sequence when they came to him, the assignment was very clear. He wanted Gabbar for himself. And that was the climax of the film. The cast came one after the other as we had to, the big star cast. Yes, we decided. I had made Sita or Gita with Dharamji, Hemaji, and Sanjeevji. So, taking them all into the next film after making a wonderful, successful film in Sita or Gita was only natural that we try and see that they fit in well. But then, of course, we needed a Gabbar opposite the Thakur, and for that we had signed Danny Denzongpa. But as it turned out, it was difficult for him to allot those dates that we had already he had already given to us, because Paramatma had gone into shooting and they were overshooting. And they extended their schedules. They were shooting in Afghanistan. So we had to make a switch. We had to make a change. And at the last minute came Amjad Khan. And of course, the rest is history. You can't today separate Amjad Khan from Gabbar or Gabbar from Amjad Khan. The setting is supposed to be close to the Chambal Valley as such, meaning the reason for that was the dacoit infested area was that. To give it meaning and to give it a background, the language, that's what we decided on. But as we went along and we started creating this, the visuals, as they came across, we saw a lot of films that inspired us from the West. Magnificent Seven, the McKenna's Gold, and Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, and of course the spaghetti westerns, the for a fistful of dollars, for a few dollars more, and Good, Bad, and Ugly. And all these films had just come out, and we thought this kind of atmosphere to create here in our own way, within it should not look Western and yet have that essence of those films. So we picked this location. I sent the art director down, and he said that he has a place in mind which which could meet our requirements, but he needed to make a trip. He did do that. He brought back photographs, and he said there are a few places. Let's go and have a look. So, along with my cameraman Dwarka Devecha and the art director, I went down south, and when he showed me these locations, I just fell for it. I said, I know this is not Chambal, but what I'm getting instead are these huge rocks. And everything seemed perfect. Gabbar's Den. These rocks made so much of a difference to that whole atmosphere. Solid. It gave the whole film a certain solidity. Of course, the natural atmosphere there, they picked on a village. Imagine going down south and picking on a village near Bangalore, 50 kilometers out of Bangalore. But it was just fitted in, and then we took over the village and built the whole village over there. Our own village there, all that was needed. There was nothing over there. Not one thing was built over there. From scratch, we built the whole thing. From Thakur's house on the hill to the mandir, the masjid, and all the rest of the village and how they lived, and the little square down there, the tank, everything was all made and constructed. And then, of course, there were, God knows how many people were there living all the time, not just constructing the whole village, but also constructing. As we started shooting, we continued work on so many different things during that. And then, of course, we had to house the horses and the saises and the workers who used to work all around. So it was a huge arrangement. I know I worked bloody hard. I know my whole team worked absolutely marvelously hard. All my actors, all my crew, technical and otherwise, we had a crew coming in from England who did the action choreography, and the cameraman also for action scenes was from England. And of course, because we had planned the whole film in 70 and stereophonic sound, which was not available in India at that time, so we went to London, Twickenham Studios, did the sound, and we had a young man called David come out here who handled the sound and the stereophonic process, and Technicolor, the lab, was handling the 70 prints. So I think getting all these people to work so hard and so creatively, all of them did their bit and contributed to the making of this film. So what does one say? That was definitely there, all the hard work was there. But that 45 years later, everybody would still be talking about it. It's mentioned on TV shows, it's a part of, it's part of the culture now. It's there. Everyone refers to Sholay and everyone knows what it's about. So I think it's what I would call, what turned out to be a phenomenon. And you can never explain a phenomenon. That's Sholay.